Because I love Jesus. I love any man who can get nailed for 3 days straight and come back for more.
I think it's time Muslims started taking the reins on this, because it's become more than clear that Christians just don't have what it takes to defend the honor of Jesus.
Okay, yes, I will agree that the joke at the beginning of that video is horribly crass and very disrespectful. But the difference is between Christian mindset and what seems to be the Muslim one is that we aren't called to be violent towards other people, no matter what. It's not for us to defend God. That is literally not our job. And the Bible even tells us that much. We see an attitude of violence in the disciples of Jesus even. Jesus went to go to a Samaritan village and they rejected him before he even got there. And when they got near, his disciples James and John asked Jesus if they should call fire down from heaven onto the village because they rejected Jesus and insulted him. But what did Jesus do? He rebuked them for that. And at another time says, if you're not accepted and people don't accept your message, just shake the dust from your feet and leave that place. That is your sign to them that they have been rejected by you and by God. Similarly, when Jesus was being arrested and Peter jumps to his defense, which seems natural, right? But Jesus says, put your sword away, Peter, for all who live by the sword die by the sword. Violent responses are not what Jesus wants from us, ever. We see this message reinforced in the epistles of Romans by Paul, where he says, if it's possible, live peaceably with all, so far that it depends on you. So as much as you can do, live at peace with people. Then he continues saying, never avenge yourself, but leave room for the wrath of God. For it is written, vengeance is mine, says the Lord. And then he carries on and says instead, if your enemies are hungry, feed them. If they're thirsty, give them something to drink. For by doing good towards them, you heap burning coals upon their head, which is in line with the teachings of Jesus as well. He says, do not be overcome by evil, overcome evil by good. And this is the call of all Christians. We are to overcome evil with good. We are to show love to our enemies, not violence. So even if someone insults Jesus, and as hard as that might be to see or hear, like the guy at the beginning of this clip, it's not our place to avenge. We have to leave room for the vengeance of God and let him worry about himself, because he is all powerful and it is not our place or right to do anything about that. So it might seem weak for Christians to look over these things or seemingly overlook them because we don't take up arms and blow people up or whatever, or go to war because they've insulted Jesus. But actually, it's a greater strength to have self-control and leave room for God's vengeance and for us to show love to people who hate us. That in itself is the greatest strength, not picking up arms. That is weakness.